Hello everyone, it's Anasika here, and today I am going all Christmassy with you. I'm going to be creating a trifold belly band Christmas card with you all using this beautiful Christmas collection from Gatefold. The card base I already cut. It is 8 by 3 8 and 7 inches, and you score it at 1 3/4 and 5 1/4. And then you have your base card really. Then I've already cut the pattern papers I want to use, and for that large piece you cut it 3 1/4 by 8 1/4, and the smaller pieces for the inside and the outside of the flaps you cut it 1 5/8 and 8 1/4. I find basically the hardest thing about creating cards with these beautiful Gatefold papers is choosing what to use. That is so difficult. As you can see here, I've already cut the green one and then the creamy-ish coloured one, I guess, on the inside, but I will change my mind halfway through. That is what these papers do to me. I just want to use them all up, and that is the reason why I can never just create one card using these papers. I always end up with two. Then all I have to do now is assemble the card, basically decorate it using these beautiful papers. And I just stick these to the middle and then the outside flaps first. You can of course do it in any order you want. This is just the order I did. And I do love to ink the edges of my pattern paper with ink, just to give them a little bit of a vintagey kind of a feel, plus it adds colour, which I like. You can of course use liquid adhesive if that's what you prefer. I just like the double-sided adhesive, so that is what I go for. And I'm just eyeballing it really. What I want is to have a tiny bit of frame around the pattern paper so that the cardstock or the card base actually shows through and works as a frame. I like that. Oh, and make sure that if you're using a pattern paper with letters or words in it, make sure it is the right way around. I have made that mistake so many times, and I keep making the same mistake again and again. What's up with that? And then I chose this beautiful starry bright pattern paper. I just love it. So beautiful. Just love it. I'm kind of starting to feel festive using these beautiful papers. And I put these on the inside. And now I need to create that little lift door. Yeah. So I already cut this down. This is 1 inch by 5 inch. And I just fold it in half. And then fold it in half again on each side. And you can of course measure it if you want, but I find this very handy. And since pattern paper is quite forgiving when you're bending it, you can always fix your mistake. Besides, these will be mostly covered up, so no bother. And I'll be putting one at the top and another one at the bottom. And here I realize that the text inside is upside down, so I need to make sure that it's the right side. And I just adhere it to, but not quite in the crease, but almost as close as I can without actually having it stuck in the fold. And then you have a box. Just love this. Such a neat thing to do. Little effort, but it adds such a nice touch to a card. Makes it interactive without the hassle. I like that. And this one goes on the upper side. And when you're placing it, just make sure that it is folded in the shape of an M. That is how I remember it, really. And now these are ready. Oh, so cute. And as I say, the paper is very forgiving. So if something looks a bit amiss or I've scored in the wrong bit, I just press it down gently and it fixes everything. And then I had already taken a few of the smaller images from the Ephemera pack to put on my cards. And that also is quite difficult to choose. Which one of these pretty images do I want to use? But I ended up using the red candles and the poinsettia. I just like basically looking around, seeing if things look nice or not. Just figuring it out. And then I ink the edges of these little pieces as well. And I actually use liquid glue for these ones. So it kind of helps because you're putting it on a small piece of cardstock and I want to be able to see how it looks when it's folded. So the liquid glue gives me a bit of time or wiggle room to fix something if I need to. Just make sure that you don't put too much glue. You don't want it oozing all over. And then I've decorated the inside, just making sure everything is stuck. And I'm able to close the card, and I am. Excellent. Now for the inside of the card, I want to be able to write a sentiment. So of course this pattern paper is way too dark to write anything on it. So I just measured approximately. You don't need proper measurements really, just eyeball it. Took a white cardstock, cut it down to size, and then I decided I wanted to round the edges just to make it a bit more soft, I guess. And then I just ink the edges so it matches all the pattern papers and just stick it to the middle. Then I have a nice place for my sentiment. So it's a great way to be able to use the pattern paper for the inside of the card, but still being able to write on the inside. And then I felt like it was a bit too white, so I just picked one of the sentiments from the sticker sheet and placed that at the top. Now I need to be able to close the card, and I'm using a belly band. And I wanted the center to be this sticker, but of course I couldn't just stick it to the front. So all I had to do was find a pattern paper that I could use as a frame around it. And you can stick it straight onto the pattern paper and then cut around it, or cut the approximate size and then add your sticker to it, which is what I did, because I have made the mistake in the past of cutting too close to the sticker and it ruins everything. I don't like that. Then basically I just stick that to the pattern paper, and then I decided to round the corners of the backing paper as well, and inking, because well, I do love the inking. And then I just need to cut a belly band to cover the card, and I cut this one down to 1 inch and 8 3/4. And I just approximately just wrap it around the card. It is snug, but make sure you don't have it too snug so that you can easily pull it off, but of course you want it to be tight enough not to fall. And I'm just using liquid adhesive to stick that together. And there's no need to use scoreboard for this. I just wrapped it around and it will fall naturally in place, no problem. And then I need to add the focal point to the belly band, and I wanted to make sure to add a bit of dimension. So I just cut a bit of foam tape, stuck that to the middle-ish of the belly band, and then I put my centerpiece on top, and all should be falling into place. I like dimension, but I do like cards that come together quickly, so this foam addition to the belly band was a great idea. Then I want to decorate the front as well. I was thinking about adding another layer of pattern paper, but then I thought, no, I don't want it to be too bulky. So I decided to pick some of these beautiful stickers from the sticker sheets. And I'm just adding a selection of ornaments to the top, like they're hanging from the edge of the card itself. And I wanted to create a bit of cluster, so it was a bit flat with that green ornament there on top of the green. So I'm just putting a red one next to the larger white one, and then adding a bit of foam tape to the green ornament. Now, I did not think of that before because I have a belly band. Of course, if I have foam tape, I might have difficulties in removing the belly band. So, thankfully, I only used foam tape for the top side of the card, not the bottom, so the belly band will be able to travel one way, but maybe not the other. So I think I'm safe there. But just thought I'd warn you so you don't make the mistake that I have done before. And I'm just adding a star to the bottom, and I have so many of these beautiful pearls from G45, and I just had to use them. They've been in my drawer for quite some time, so I did decide to add liquid adhesive to make sure that they will be stuck, because the glue might be dried up, so I don't want them to be falling off. And I'm just adding those for this tiny little bit of a blingy touch. And again, I did not think of the fact that I needed the belly band to be able to move around freely. But thankfully it managed, so. And then I decided to add a bit of pearls to the belly band itself. Just because, well, why not? If I have a reason to add a bit of bling anywhere, I will always add bling. And now this card is just all coming together, looking quite nice, and I'm quite happy with it. So let's test the belly band, being very careful. Yes, I made it. And that's what it looks like when it's open. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this little tutorial or step by step.